Hello, Jai Parkins are here. Today we're going to do 30 days of JavaScript, but first I want to talk about something. 2 earthquakes in Turkey happened yesterday that are 7.5 magnitude. Turkey needs help. I wish my condolences to who lost their lives and other people who get injured and displaced from their home. If you want to financially support, there's a link in the descriptions. If you're a foreigner, just give it a thought because your currency makes a lot of money in Turkish currency. Let's start. 30 days of JavaScript, day 5. We're continuing with arrays. Arrays hold multiple values. And each value has an index that you can reach, and these arrays has lengths, and their values are modifiable, but its object itself is not modifiable. Array can be empty and have different data values in JavaScript. How to create an empty array? As you can see here, it's generally created with as a const keyword, constant, because you don't change the object but change each value. Arrays work as memory addresses that are adjacent to each other. So array points the first object's place, and other objects are adjacent to each other. Or you can use array, but this is not preferred. This is the preferred way of creating an array in JavaScript. And you can initialize it. Numbers, fruits. These are strings. So you can also create numbers and strings and all kind of together. And you can reach the length by doing this numbers.length. This is the result. You can have any type: string, number, boolean, or JSON. You can create an array using a splitting and string, for example, by each character, or from this symbol, or from the empty spaces. So in array, we got indexes, as I just said. These indexes start from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. Because in mathematically it's n plus 1, n plus 2. And the length, because it starts from 0, the last index is length minus 1. Do not forget that, it's important. Here we are reaching the first element, which is banana. And this is the last index, length minus 1. We're repeating. I'm repeating here as well. And repeating here as well. And as well. Modifying an array element. We want to change the first element to 10, so it will be 10 instead of 1. And the other element 2 instead of 20 instead of 2. We're repeating same thing with strings. Methods to manipulate array. Using the constructor with parameter 8, we'll create 8 values, 8 empty values. Array's type is object, by the way, if you try to type off. You can fill it with a value. So 8 x's will be created. Concatenating 2 arrays. First list.concat, second list will concat the values. Getting the array length. The size of the array is 5. The last element is 4. because it starts from 0. Index of gets you the value. For example, the first value will be 1. The index of 0 will return 1. You can also use the curly brackets. You can check an element if it exists in an array using this approach. Index of banana will get the index 0. If it doesn't exist, it will return -1. So if it's not -1, this proof does not exist in the array, else it exists in the array. Or you can use ternary operator instead of if else, but this is a better approach because your eyes might skip this line, and I don't prefer because it's bad. If it's not a return line, of course. If it's a return, it increases the readability. You can also last index, so if there are multiple 2's, it will get you the last index of that 2. And we are repeating what we learned here. You can print the values with the comma between using the names to string method. Comes to string method, or you can just join them. The difference is in join you can give a parameter to define what each elements what will be between each elements, like this. I think you get me. The slice cuts some multiple items in range. It takes 2 parameters, starting and ending points, and it doesn't include the ending position. So you need to give, for example, if you say 4, it will get from 0, 1, 2, 3. It will not get 4, so it will be between these values. Splice method in array. Splice slice gets a slice like a substring. Splice removes these values. For example, 0 to 1. Or in this example, there are many parameters: starting point, number of times to be repeated, number of items to be added. Starting point, number of items, 3 items will be 7 items will be added. And the other ones, the values. It replaces the values. Adding item to an array using push. Push is like we have an array. We just push a value from the right side, from the end. You can think of it like this. And pop just pops the last value. The largest, the greatest, the one with the greatest index. Yes, pop here. Shifting removes 1 item from the beginning. So push, pop, shift, and unshift, adding 1 element from the beginning. It's hard to memorize, but as you practice, you can get better. You can sort elements using the .sort method. If it's a string value, it will sort alphabetically A, B, C to Z. If it's a number, it will make it increase 0, 100, 1000, etc. Exercise time. So we are creating an array, creating an array with 5 elements, giving 6. Size is 6, and it will create 5 numbers, as you can see here. Getting the first item, middle item, and the last item must have length -1, and middle item is length divided by 2. So in this one we're giving mixed data types. It's a number, string, boolean, etc. And here we're just declaring the companies, IT companies. We are printing its values. If you just print it, it will show the bracket parentheses. If you just say toString, it will give you without bracket parentheses. We're getting length. Because of this array's size is 7, which is odd, which is an odd number, we need to do length -1 divided by 2. To change each company's name to uppercase one by one and print it out. E, it doesn't matter. E index anything. Sorry, I. I in IT companies. IT companies. I dot uppercase and console log. Printing it like an array. It uses toString. Checking if it exists. You need to use index of, and then if it's index not -1, you can get that value. Filtering out companies which have more than one O's without the filter methods. So we create a selected companies array for each company of IT companies. Let index company index of OO. And if its index is not -1, push that to this array. And when we say toString, it will give us those values. We can also use sort and then toString. It starts from Amazon, Apple, Facebook. We can reverse it with the reverse method. We can slice out the first 3 companies with splice. We can slice out the last 3 companies, the slice, but the values will be the length -3 and length -1. Slice out the middle IT company from companies in the array, the length -2, from 1 to length -2. Remove the first IT company from the array. You need to do shift. Remove the middle IT company from companies. So first I push the first element and then the last elements. So the elements, the middle, will be excluded. Remove the last IT company from the array, pop. Remove all IT components, just giving its length to 0 does the job. You can just splice with no parameters also. And the splice method is better. This is kind of confusing. I agree. Exercise level. Creating separate countries.js file. You need to do either importing or scripts in HTML tags. You're injecting JavaScript files inside HTML. First, remove all punctuations and change string to array and count the number of words in the array. Okay. So we have 13 elements. Then I am replacing comma and dots with empty values, so I kind of delete them. You can think of it like that. And creating an array, empty array, and array splitting each value from spaces and it will be 11 elements. In the following shopping cart, add, remove, edit items. If shopping cart's first element is not meat, I unshift meat. So I added meat at the beginning of here. Add sugar at the end of the shopping cart if it's not, it's been already added. Shopping cart's length -1. It's not sugar. Push sugar. Remove honey if you're allergic to honey. Is allergic to honey true? If it's allergic to honey, a mix of honey, etc. Modify tea to green tea. Index of tea to green tea. Check if Ethiopia exists in the array. If it exists, print Ethiopia. These are kind of repetitive. I think you get the point. Level 3. The following in an array constants of ages. Sort the array. The sort. Find the minimum and maximum ages. If you sort it, the first value will be the smallest one. The last value will be the largest one. So min-max. Find the median age. So if length is not divisible by 0, get the middle two elements, add them together and divide by 2. It will be the median. If it's not, just get the middle one if it's odd, and it will be 24 by the equation. Find the average age, just add them together and then divide them by the length. Find the range of the ages. Range means max minus min. Compare the value of min minus average and max minus average using the abs. If it's negative, makes it positive. And I did here. Slice the first 10 countries from the countries array. Slice it from 0 to 11 because the end position does not count. Find the middle country or countries in the countries array. If its length is even, divide by 2 and concatenate. Divide by 2 plus 1. So if it's the middle two countries, if it's not divided by 2, if it's odd, just get the middle value. Divide the countries array into 2 equal arrays if it's even. If countries array is not even, one more country, add one more country for the first half. Length first half, second half, so there are 2 arrays, first half, second half. If length is even, the first half will be 0 to middle value and middle value to last value, second half, so we're just dividing it because its element count is even. If it's not even, you can't do that, so you just the first half will also get the middle value, so it's not like that, the one value here. The first half will be larger in that case. That's all. Thank you for listening. Take care.